Okay, so I wanted to make another video about social anxiety, and the reason this is because obviously I made the video about depression yesterday, and I think social anxiety kind of hints into that in a very big way. And if you actually look it up, there's an actual social anxiety disorder, and then there's just social anxiety. I wanted to talk about how those two things kind of link into each other. So, looking up on the internet here, the actual social anxiety disorder, if I can find the right page here, there we go, is where you end up dreading everyday activities such as meeting strangers. I'm just reading this off of the NHS website here. Meeting strangers, talking in groups or starting conversations, and then things like speaking on the telephone, working is an important one for me here. And so that's what's listed under social anxiety disorder, but I'm not so sure that I have the disorder, whereas I just have regular kind of social anxiety and didn't really work on it back when it was all that important. And so I'll tell you another story here, and this is kind of an ongoing thing with me, and especially how it affected my social life. So when I was back in senior school, high school, whatever you want to call it, I spent a lot of my time in the library, and this all tracks onto another thing about bullying, which I'll make another video about. So yeah, I spent a lot of time in the library, and that was because I was avoiding people my own age, in my own year group, and I wanted to spend more time with myself and people who are maybe a bit younger than me, a bit kind of more comfortable in their own shell. And so that's what I did. I spent a lot of time in the library. I still had friends in my own year, and some of them I still talk to and get on really well with. But yeah, I spent a lot of time in the library, and hindsight being what it is, I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I'd kind of, if I could go back, I would go back and force myself to go out there. I mean, if I could speak to my 13, 14-year-old self, I'd say, yeah, go push yourself to be more confrontational and work harder to get on the good side of the people that are in your own year, and that way I probably would have avoided being bullied so much, but that's another video. So, social anxiety disorder is not something that I think I suffer from. I just think I suffer from just regular, normal social anxiety, and I think it's something that a lot of people do really suffer from. Another little story I could mention is that when, say, all of my friends were getting together, or at least a few of my groups of friends were getting together, and they say, hey, do you want to come out, I don't know, maybe go out for a drink or something. And at this point I still lived with my parents, which meant I was living under their roof, and they were very strict about the rules they set, and I didn't like to push the boundaries for fear of aggravating my mum, who was kind of the alpha in the house. And so, and also I didn't really want to go out anyway, but every time I did, I either got dragged out or forced myself to go out. I ended up having a really good time. And I think that if you can push yourself past the fear of, if you suffer with this, if you have this kind of drag on your life, it can control you, and it can lead you to be very introverted. You won't talk to a lot of people, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But if I'd gone out a lot more, I ended up meeting friends from school that I hadn't seen for years, or just having a good time, building up the memories that make you a normal, well-rounded person. And that's something I think, to a certain point, I think I lack, and I'd really want to try and encourage people to not be weighed down by that, because it is something that's kind of horrible, and not everyone should have to go through that. If I go back to my little flowchart here, going back to the depression video yesterday, I will say that a lot of me being depressed or feeling suicidal I would say social anxiety had a lot to do with that. Like if you're pushing yourself to get out of your little box, your house, your bedroom, your environment, whatever that is, you push yourself to get outside of that comfort zone. You're not thinking about the thoughts in your head, and so it can really help to get out, and you won't be feeling so depressed. Because you won't be thinking about it. You'll be thinking about your current situation. You're having a good time with your friends or just people you've met, and so it's really important to try and do that, I think. And I can honestly say, when I was younger, and even when I was a little bit older, I wish I'd done more of that, because it would have been a very different person, I think. I wouldn't be so wrapped up inside myself, and wouldn't be making videos on the internet. So there you go, that's that. I'm going to do another video, and there's actually loads of videos I want to make about things that have affected me and people I know, and my kind of thoughts and opinions on them. And so I'll be doing those. I've got one coming up on bullying and my thoughts and regrets on that. I've got another one coming up on a whole bunch of things, really. Just stay subscribed to the channel, you'll see them all come up in your box. Leave any comments if you've got any ideas, thoughts, opinions on social anxiety. I'd really like to know about them. But yeah, just leave a comment or send me a message. I'll reply to everything I can. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later.